I think this is a very fascinating piece of media because we have Justin Trudeau, who, let's face it, is a neoliberal and is not necessarily known for like being a debate bro, dunking on a teenager. But let's just watch and see what we think. It's a wonderful day in the homiehood, a wonderful day for a homie. Won't you be my homie to Taro?
Our dental program that is going to help low-income families be able to send their kids to the dentist. Would you support that?
I'm not fully into it. I just know.
Well, you don't think?
Like, I'm for sure I'm against abortion.
Hang on. We'll put that aside for a second. You don't think low-income families should have access to dental care?
It's a teenager indoctrinated by grown men. Yeah, and I guess that is why it's fascinating. So first topic of debate here in this 2-minute video is dental care.
So I think they should.
You think they should?
Yeah.
Well, Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party voted against that. Okay. So already you see the party you support. The party you support.
Yeah.
So if you look really closely, you can see the peach fuzz growing on this young man's face. And right off the bat, this young person contradicts themselves. Because it's really hard to, how do you answer that question? Do you think poor people should have access to dental care? And, what do you say? No, you look like an asshole if you say something like that. So he says yes. And Justin Trudeau says, well, assuming that this young man, who we later find out is also a Christian, assumes that they are supporting Pierre Poilievre. And then this young person says something.
I'm not fully conservative. I'm more PPC. I'm not really
more PPC.
Yeah.
He's more PPC, which, if you don't know, is the People's Party of Canada. And they're like the MAGA party. They're like openly fascist party, whereas the Conservatives in Canada are more like subtle fascism, appealing to essentially the same base of voters, people who watch the Daily Wire, essentially, in Canada. This is how they spew their nonsense, through the exploitation of children, hiding behind them and using them to propagate their ideas. Yeah, 100%.
More PPC.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is that? Why are you PPC?
I think they're mostly Christian. I think I'm against the vaccine mandate.
Okay, so mostly Christian. So you don't think we should be supporting Muslims?
So he says there, it's kind of hard to hear. He says there that the reason he's PPC is because he supports Christianity. I guess he's a Christian, and he was against the vaccine mandates. So I don't know. It's like, imagine still being mad about vaccine mandates, bro. This is like 2 years ago.
No, I think I would support everyone.
You should support everyone.
I think mainly liberal abortion is against Christianity. I think.
Okay. Do you think?
So he does say here that he supports everyone, even though he's a Christian. And it is, I guess, a weird thing to bring up in a political sense. Like, why would you affirm that you support the PPC because they're Christian? And it kind of really just highlights the fact that what we're talking about here is Christofascism, and it gets in the mind of like young men, and suddenly they hop aboard this like Christian fascist ideology.
Do you think that women should have the right to choose what happens to their own bodies?
Personally, no.
No, you think you should?
So, okay, just like a mind-blowingly take, do you think women should have the choice as to what happens to their own bodies? And this young guy, he says, personally, no. Man. This is the party that touts freedom all the time. He said the PPC is mostly Christian and then brings up abortion. Yeah, it's actually very smart of Trudeau. He's got the level 100 debate bro brain activated here to pivot from the question about like Christians and Muslims, like, and pivot into abortion, because that is kind of like why this went viral, I do believe. It leaves us without some context. Those dunking on Trudeau for taking this kid on, it wasn't Trudeau asking the kid to debate anything. He was responding to a comment or question. Need to know what that was. I agree, Crispy. I did try to find like a broader context of this video. I'm not sure if it exists. If it does exist, I would love to watch it. And yeah, I do want to know how this situation even came about, because there is context missing, and I'm always skeptical of something when we only get a 2-minute clip, right? This is not at all shocking. I grew up in evangelical cult circles. Well, I'm glad that you were able to escape that, Rabbit Ribbit.
Should be able to choose what happens to a woman's body?
Well, I think if they're sleeping around, they shouldn't be allowed to abort the baby, personally.
So I think this clip right here is like really why this is a viral moment. Trudeau says, "Do you think you should be able to determine what happens to a woman's body?" And this young man says, if they're sleeping around, they shouldn't have the right to abort. And it's like, first of all, this is incel language. Like, this is like extra virginal language, right? Like, this guy is his name, like, he might as well name himself Mary, the way he's being so much of a virgin right now. It's like, have you ever talked to a woman? Have you ever slept with a woman? And like, you don't, why is it also the idea that somebody is sleeping around? Like, why in this case of a woman getting pregnant is the kid saying that she is sleeping around, therefore implying that she has multiple partners? And not that there would be anything wrong with that, but it's kind of revealing that this person assumes that if he were to sleep with a woman, that she would also be taking on multiple partners. It sounds like he's not very confident in his ability to like satisfy the needs of another sexual being, you know? And it's like, if somebody would be willing to sleep with this kid, maybe they are sleeping around. Like, he doesn't sound like he's very attentive to the needs of anyone he would be having sex with. Trudeau did okay, not great. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of problems, and unfortunately, like, what is frustrating about this is that so many liberals are like inspired by this, you know? But I mean, maybe this is proof that we might see another Trudeau victory in the next election.
I'm pro-choice.
Wow. Oh, wait, you just say you're pro-choice.
No.
So this person, this poor young person doesn't even know if they're pro-choice or anti-choice.
Pro-choice. No, you're not pro-choice.
No, I'm pro, what's it called? Pro-life.
Okay, pro-life.
I'm pro, what's it called? He's anti-choice.
Yeah. And you don't think women should be able to make choices what they do with their bodies?
With abortion, no, personally, no.
Why not? Why not?
Because it was their choice to sleep around. They have to.
No. Whoa. That is. Oh, so a woman who is raped should.
It is weird. He goes down this line of reasoning, right? Like, yeah, as you say, V from TO, like, he does sidestep the misogyny of like a woman is responsible for their sexual activity, whereas a man is not responsible for their sexual activity. He really, I mean, you say maybe he does okay, but this is like the ultimate bait, and this young man took
be
it.
able to get an abortion?
I'd say that's where it gets complicated.
No, it doesn't get complicated.
But
That's where it gets complicated. This young man says that if a woman is raped, then they should suddenly have access to abortion. Maybe this young man says
yes or no.
That's super specific examples. Those are like
no, but it's
super specific example. But yeah,
it's an all too common example.
And Justin Trudeau's right there.
Like,
right? Women get raped all the time.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's something we have to take seriously.
But 95...
So let's talk about that specific example. Should a woman who was raped be able to get
It's not. This young man needs his hairline fixed.
an abortion?
I'm split on it, 50-50. But I think 95...
If you are not in favor of saying, yes, a woman who was raped should be able to choose to not bear that child?
I honestly don't know.
It sounds like you need to do a little more thinking and a little more praying on it as well.
So, you know, Trudeau handles himself quite well here. This line at the end, you need to do a little more praying on it. Do a little more thinking. It's you know, kind of like it's definitely a dad joke, but hell, it's a good one. The anti-choice side will always try to make it about morality, the morality of the pregnant person, or the morality of the circumstances. In the US, it was an evangelical moment that latched onto abortion as a political issue. A woman should not have to tell a doctor that they were raped in order to get an abortion. Absolutely, yeah. And, it's, I think that would hopefully be implied by people interpreting this little viral moment. Like I said, it's interesting, and it's very interesting to me that this is a moment that has gone viral, more viral than I've really ever seen Justin Trudeau go before, more viral than I've seen Pierre Poilievre go. So it is, in a way, I think, fascinating. So the first topic of conversation, they talk about dental care. Now, let's just please take a moment and remind ourselves that this dental care for poor people, first of all, is not even that great of a policy. Second of all, it is the NDP's policy as well. The dental care for marginalized poor people is the NDP's policy. And arguably, it's not even dental care. It's not free dental care at the point of access, the way that we deem our medical care to be free, right? It's a rebate program that poor families making under $70,000, $80,000, or $90,000 in a mean tested way will receive money if they have children under 12. They will receive a rebate to supposedly pay for dental care. There's no guarantee that those families will actually use that money to get dental care for their children. And I think this is problematic, right? Because when we're spending this money, we want to make sure it's actually going to the right place. But there's no guarantee that it will. So this is a huge half measure for so many reasons. This is like a quarter measure. This is like a 10th measure. Because one, it's not universal. It doesn't mean that children everywhere are getting access to dental care that they desperately need. And it's means tested. There's different tiers depending on what families earn. It only applies to families, right? Like I just had my filling yesterday because I got a cavity when I was receiving chemotherapy, which can increase tooth decay. I was also just unwell enough on most days to even do proper dental hygiene, and I got a cavity. My cavity was a result of my health being bad and me seeking treatment. But I don't have universal healthcare in the sense that dental is healthcare. I should have been able to access that care for free, I believe, but I had to pay for it because I don't meet the requirements of this program. I'm not 12 years or under. Right? So the fact that Justin Trudeau has used this point to go viral is to me a bit concerning, a bit disingenuous. And, liberals, of course, if you're on Team Trudeau, as maybe, the majority of Canadians are at least I don't want to say the majority of Canadians, but let's face it, the majority of Canadians are liberal in their political ideology, right? So they are potentially Justin Trudeau voters. It is kind of sad for me to see him go viral for this particular moment, because a lot of people not only are giving him credit, but they're kind of giving him credit where it's not due, because this dental program isn't actually that good. So it's kind of sad for me to see us claim this gigantic progressive victory when it's actually just a drop in the ocean. So they go on here, they talk about the PPC being a Christian party, and let's face it, all the parties are kind of like establishment leading, and the hegemonic power here in Canada is like white people who are traditionally Christian. Like you said, he planned it. We still don't know how this interaction started. That is true. There are people here speculating. Wait, I said it like he planned it. Plan this interaction. Yeah, I mean there are people speculate. I don't think he planned this. I don't think this is a planned moment. There are people speculating like this was a psyop, I guess. You know, planned it as a viral moment. Yeah, but again though, we don't know how this started. It is weird to see like everybody filming this interaction, but like it starts mid conversation, right? Like so genuinely am curious to see like what came before and after this. Um and yeah, I don't think this is planned or anything, but it is interesting to see how like politics work, right? Like because you could support the NDP's program for dental care as a liberal, and then when you go viral for it, you get to take all the credit. It is kind of an interesting phenomenon, isn't it? You know, Jagmeet Singh and the NDP have not gone half as viral for this. Um, you know, if he planned it, it would have been a man, not a child. Well, we might get that chance because Maxime Bernier, let me pull up his Twitter really quick, who is the leader of the People's Party of Canada, decided that it wasn't enough for Justin Trudeau. Where is it? It wasn't enough for Justin Trudeau to debate his youngest followers. He says here, Justin, don't pick on my supporters. If you want to debate me anytime, I'm there.
Justin, don't pick on my young supporters.
Sorry, I can't take this man seriously. That's what you're saying. The language you are using make it sound like it was a planned viral moment. Just a comment, not a criticism. Yeah. Fair enough. Like I'm not trying to make this sound like there are some people who are like this is a psyop. And Justin Trudeau planned this. I don't get that vibe. If it is, then wow, well done. You know, it's like this is like a very genuine feeling psyop. You know, so true only PP uses kids as props. Well, let's see what Maxime Bernier has to say here.
If you want to debate me anytime, I'm there.
Why would anybody want to debate Maxime Bernier? Like this is the basic rule of even just being a content.
Take it easy till I get back to normal.
Yo, thank you so much, David, for the follower. The follow. Jesus, I can't talk. What kind of Pokemon are you? If you are a Pokemon, also welcome. We are a news and politics channel, and we mostly cover like Canadian stuff because we're Canadian. But yeah, why would anyone in their right mind want to debate Maxime Bernier? He doesn't even hold any power. He's the leader of a party that holds no seats. And like the basic rule of even just being a Twitch streamer is like you don't platform people with really bad fascistic ideas unless they have a bigger following than you and you can tap into their audience and you know you can maybe like convince some people in their audience that they have really bad ideas. But in this case, Maxime Bernier doesn't even really have an audience and he certainly has no power. So why would Justin Trudeau waste an ounce of breath even like responding to this?
Do you remember what you did at the last election in 2021 when you...
Man, like it's crazy to me that like the most xenophobic people in Canadian society, they're like, this is their man. This is their man. Every time he speaks English, though, like it's like it honestly sounds like somebody who's like making fun of French Canadians, trying to do an impersonation of them, and a bad one at that.
You asked your friend David Johnston not to allow me to be part of the debate. You knew.
I mean, why should you?
It would have ended badly for you.
Wait, wasn't he part of one of the debates and he got like completely mopped up? Like I can specifically remember Jagmeet Singh like, Maxime, why are you even here? You don't meet the requirements to like be part of these official debates. So like everything you say, like I'm not even taking seriously.
Because we are for common sense and more freedom.
Why? Why? It sounds like he like I swear like his English vocabulary is not strong. Admittedly, it's stronger than my French vocabulary, but I'm also like not running for I'm not running for office,
And we believe in people. And what you did to Canadians at that time, lockdowns, vaccine passports, stay-at-home orders, and all that COVID hysteria, people understand now that we were right
Bro, nobody cares anymore.
to ask for freedom for our people. So I'm ready to debate you anytime because I believe that we at the PPC, we have the best ideas for a better future for Canadians.
Man, like this isn't even live. Like you could have done another take. Like that's the crazy thing to me about people who edit and post videos is like, you could have done it again. You could have edited it so it was better than this. And he even quote tweeted the mayor on this, which is amazing, giving the mayor even more views to his unhinged followers. So hilarious. But I don't know. In conclusion, for this story, I do think that this is a uniquely fascinating piece of social media in Canadian politics. It makes me think that Justin Trudeau is definitely going to run in the next election. Some mainstream political pundits, like the people I read in the Globe and Mail, they are kind of calling for him to like step away and have new leadership. However, myself, as someone who is not a supporter of the Liberal Party at all, I think that Trudeau is basically their only option. I don't see anyone in the Liberal Party who looms half as large as Justin Trudeau, even though he's down in the polls right now. Moments like this viral video are proof that, maybe he still has it, and I think he should stay in. I would like to see, from a realistic point of view, another Liberal minority in our next government. I guess that would be my second best case scenario, maybe the most realistic one. Even better for me would be a conservative minority, believe it or not, wherein Liberals and NDP can form a coalition and be the ruling party through that. Am I a conservative? Oh no, absolutely not. I am a socialist. So I'm basically like left of the NDP. So I am opposing this entire I'm opposing the entire political establishment, essentially. Yeah. threw you for a loop there, maybe. As a first time chatter, I'm like, you know what I would like to see? A conservative minority. But only on the condition that the Liberals and the NDP are able to form a coalition and continue working together. This is why I support proportional representation electoral reform, is because I think the government is best when they're forced to work together. That's why, even though a lot of people on the left who are probably more adjacent to my politics say that Jagmeet Singh should break the supply and confidence agreement, I think that actually this is kind of best case scenario. We're not getting much out of it, but we are getting something, and I love to see the conservative meltdown of calling this the costly coalition. And it's just like, yeah, whatever. I don't like that. That's actually good. The having parties work across party lines is actually good. Why not make sure you don't miss the next video by liking, commenting, subscribing, and ringing the bell? Thank you so much for watching. It's my homie, too, Taro. Peace.